What is up, guys? It is Coasters and Things here today with another coaster review. Today I'm reviewing Wonder Woman Golden Lasso coaster at Six Flags Fiesta Texas, the first ever RMC Raptor. Now, this review is specifically on Wonder Woman. However, I imagine what I say in this review can apply to Railblazer at California's Great America too. So first of all, you have to walk all the way to the back of the park to get to this coaster. Fortunately, it isn't a very long walk. The sign for this coaster is very well done too. It is hung on this marble-like structure. And actually, when you're walking through the queue, if this coaster has a long line, then you'll walk through a fully built marble structure, gives off vibes of a Roman Colosseum. There's torches hung with fire burning on them, and it is a really cool thing that Six Flags did to add some theming to the ride. Now when you get into the station, if there's a long line, then you don't get to pick your row. Instead, you're lined up on dots on the floor labeled 1 through 8, which indicates what row you're in. I rode this 5 times in rows 1, 3, 5, 6, and 8. Now, when I got front row, there was not a line, so that's how I got to pick my row. You then step into the trains, and the ride-ups pull down your restraints. This coaster has a continuous loading station, by the way, which means the train never stops. Now here's my main problem with this coaster. These restraints are not comfortable. They consist of 2 seat belts that come across your shoulders, and they really do pressure your shoulders. On my second ride on this, the restraints were so tight that I cracked my neck. These restraints are not very accommodating to taller riders, and I am a taller rider, so I felt quite a bit of pressure. Now, it's not bad enough to ruin the ride. Anyways, after you depart the station, you climb up the lift hill. It's 113 feet high, and it's a really skinny track. You start by taking a turn to the right, then plunging down that 90-degree drop. It's a 100-foot drop. If you're in the back, you go absolutely flying on that drop. And at the bottom of the drop, you do feel a little rattle. This coaster had a very slight roughness to it. I was a tad disappointed with that too, because I was hoping it would be glossy smooth. However, you also have to remember this coaster only uses 1 rail as opposed to the normal 2 rails, so it's automatically not going to be as smooth, I guess. The density for the rail on this coaster is about 15.5 inches. You then go up and into a dive loop, and you get flung hard to the left on this element as you go down. Following that, you go up into an off-axis airtime hill, which is by far the best airtime moment on this coaster. It is so incredibly aggressive. No matter what seat you're in, you go absolutely flying. This was probably my favorite moment on this coaster. This particular moment was actually where I cracked my neck, like I mentioned previously. All the while, you are hauling like crazy. You then go up and into this S-bend type section, then drop back down, which again, if you're in the back row, straight up out of your seat. You then go into the cutback, followed by the corkscrew. These 2 inversions back to back are a great 1-2 punch. Unfortunately, you go through them so fast that you don't get a whole lot of hang time on them. Then to finish out the ride, you go through one last overbanked turn into the brakes, which you do get one last ejector moment heading up into them. And you go really fast into the brakes, so be prepared for being slammed to a stop. And that is Wonder Woman Golden Lasso coaster. When you sit on the brake run for this coaster, you ask yourself, what just happened? It all goes by so fast that you don't get to process it the first time, which is why I rode this 3 times in a row to start off the day, including getting first train of the day. It's not the easiest to marathon. However, I highly recommend riding this multiple times. Get a good feel for it. For an overall score, I know I'm going to receive some flack for this, but Wonder Woman Golden Lasso coaster will be receiving a 9.5 out of 10. You're probably wondering, why not a 10? I took off half a point for the restraints being uncomfortable and the rattle I encountered. I was tempted to take off a full point, however, this ride is just so aggressive that I limited it to just half a point. I overall really enjoyed this coaster, and it was my most anticipated coaster on my San Antonio trip. It and Iron Rattler are both reasons to visit Six Flags Fiesta Texas. What are your thoughts on the Raptors? Have you ridden this or Railblazer, or will you be riding them this year? Will you be riding Jersey Devil this year? Let me know all that down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And this is Coasters and Things signing out.